billion to corruption. Indirect way and direct way. Okabuma, this state, this country called Ghana, lose about $3 billion to corruption. Ya kwan a yentumi ye ne ye na kwan ne say eye corruption. And they dum so aba eye corruption. Hospital ye yare ne yakọ hospital ne atwere no bed kwabena ne da bench so ne the infusion ese so na nsu okonimu when indeed he or she is supposed to lie on a hospital bed. Corruption ti anane unemployment rate akopiem 14.4 or 8%. Corruption ti anane obi yare no ko hospital la. Doctors are not enough there. Nurses are not enough there. Corruption has done and is doing this country so much harm that you cannot discount its impact, its negative impact on the Ghanaian and, for that matter, the Ghanaian development. Corruption ti and Rivan Cobra, I say corruption ti and will be a school dying within 6 months. Die no ko ho na obuafu. Corruption here, corruption there, corruption everywhere. Police ni chiwa opisikedi corruption. Enti anei nipa bia ko police mu not because of person osumo man no, because empanifo a wo mu wo police mu wo hu om say and check the see no wato golf police for pay golf say don't you money for golf no so corolla no motor. I don't know why. On pe corolla pa. Corruption ti wo ko office bi na wo hia bibi wo ha. Yetumi ka kire so document na ira. But that same person ka kire so document ira no fa bibi to pono na say that document na ira no bibi e to pono na say no e better than magician e ba ko for that document na ba. Corruption. Even pastors, men of God, they lie just to make money. Corruption. This country is on its knees begging for help because of corruption. People are not only corrupt, but people have also become stealers, thieves, pen robbers, not armed robbers. Corruption. To some journalists like me, corruption. Corruption has silenced a lot of people who are supposed to speak for the vulnerable ones. Corruption ti nura ni ana okasa gidigidi no ene wa me ne fuadoa. Corruption wajai kasa. I have listened to one man who once upon a time wanted to become a president of Ghana, Dr. Abu Sakara. And he said something. Also, we should begin to audit people's lifestyle, especially people in public office. What the upper share this for more opposition? Show my life. Otro opposition 8 years, share life. Manembra Bemu 4 years, national life. Now ask how much he or she is being paid in his office as a minister, as a deputy minister, as whoever, and ask yourself, say, Sabusumina yetuya kind of 4 years. When dini sikabia bosume nokura, can he own that house he's built? Can he own that house he's bought? Can he be able to travel here and there the way he does traveling? MPP before moi baby. 2016 year won't be. Minimum be an oba me show a pon a me na tena me ka mu sino baby. Answer what to aso. Ene. When you go to the west, okwa abrochire mu ade a Say na ya fianko me gina atinka TV so kasa. Next na omo say my top Bentley I will be called and the questions will be how I made the money to buy Bentley. In this country, we don't do so. We celebrate people who have bought Land Cruisers. Hey, nana fianko ya di. Hey, what Land Cruiser? Question V8 bi pa wato. Nobody will question how I bought it, how I made the money to buy that Land Cruiser. And when we even go to church, we celebrate some of them, the thieves who have stolen from the public, and we make them whoever in church. When we come to our society, we celebrate some of them are thieves, we celebrate them. The reality is that this country is on its knees because we have celebrated thieves. Now, court ruling be a buy. They are terms kama oba se unyanmo ma edwetri ahye. Ti gisika na fa komo na enso mo asene kakra so da bi me fa anko medi. We have failed to ask questions as a people. That is why we are where we are. And then ya fianko ne ebebo me din se me be minister, na me busua pani, me maame, me papa, sorry for a friend me say na ya fianko unimu wonchi. Wo fa asefo yi. Unua ye onam ho yi. Wadamfo yi. Bo modin ase wo kwe. Wo ba bebo afie. Me ko no. Me ko ton gold ana ase me ko ye o ma adwuma. Enti ye ka sa bi ni anamo bi ayetu no. Ye di wura ye trim say wo kwe make sure you don't come home empty. Come and make our home rich. Me say, let me before you move. Me say, at the time I was driving a Camry. Your phone show I me driving be the CBBC baby. But you had the easy man, so had a missy, had a make me do them. But then you walk into that person's home. Only Land Cruisers bear 6. Say oboboni fear what touch the wa. You ask yourself, say, a juma pa ben or be ye wa ben moi. In just about 7 years, or to me only these properties. We don't question people. Me see obi ewie university fie nya adwuma ye because o man si kank ye de be bie nwuma ye de be tretre nwumam ye de be nwuma kase na obenya adwuma ye no says kan nipa bi adi nipa bi amene asoalo aguom yam ye kwan ne within 2-3 years na kwan ne tutu. I remember one day one MP for a Sunafo baby, Robert Osafo Mensah. Mo share me from that area, you know. Ne papa wuye. I remember say me ba a yenibi. And driving on the Kumasi Bibiani Mem go so kwine. You realize that kwine is so solid. Then I asked, that ben no yes I come kwine with Rollins time no ye. Rollins time. And when we yes I kwine. Kufua betwem. I think it was John Mahama time na say ye me call somewhere 2015 2016. And the road was as solid as a new road constructed today. How many of our roads and ye near it to me 2 years. I into 2 years. Many to acquire me in less than 2 years. Quite to 2 first one now both. One man ye crank ye. Because your mark contract no, your mark contract no edge in a percentage. And nay obey your contractor, but we need tender in your contract. No cotton corruption. Corruption. We have not thought about what corruption is doing to us as a nation. It is harming us. Corruption. Corruption in Tina circle a mass seja ewo kwan so obi ntumi nkotu omo because osuro so obelusu election. Corruption. In fact, the real definition of corruption come to Ghana. It is here. Go to the ministries. It is there. Go to the churches. It is there. Go to the police stations. It is there. Go to yet they say Jubilee as crowd person who mampenia who 20,000. Hey! Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Which country would develop with this mentality, with this practice, with this mindset? Which country? Mention one country. A nation, yen yina ye woman obia fum sika say o man na dani tolobifo. Enti ebedu anima abonia na wo na de twa de. Ukita sekan na de twa de. Nu ukita blade kra twane a wofu se blade de betumi atwa. When we run a country like that, are we expecting any development? If this country, we are told, say, we lose about $3 billion to corruption. $3 billion a year to corruption. Meanwhile, Yakobo Bessia $3 billion. And who amanie a chain crate and fed you my fault. And your way to Tuniama boom, your way. And to be service at $3 billion, to be saving 5 of them in a 5-year row. Can you imagine where this country will be? Corruption see you two galamsey as a bepimune yentumi to yentumi to da yentumi to because your leaders no one more gene I say a pro corruption I say I no your leaders no I say no yensu ye no I say a pro ban say na nka media meti sojafoɔ yes wo mo ko peacekeeper ya ho na nka kwadae wa no every military officer want to be on board, say Uncle Peacekeeping. There was a time in this country, military officers were rather begging to be part of Operation Vanguard instead of going to peacekeeping. Obia ya train this work peacekeeping. No, ye call catch them penny for some peacekeeping. Mama Operation Vanguard. Corruption. See, until see the best shit, be decided. So enough is enough. Now your leaders would lead with iron hands, making sure say every corruption activity will be punishable. We will not get there. Hear me. We will not get there. Corruption cannot entirely be eradicated, but if we have to reduce it to the minimal level, it will help us as a nation. On my way, yeni ankasa eni yebeji yeni. Na yema yeni briska. And pennyfo any brisika o krodie mu a enkromo pennyfo wo mani brisika wo mu hu sika na wo mu ho po chechecheche enkokra ne mrewa a mo ba bewu esu mo gine somebody sika. Yeah, friend, na ya afanko. Let's put an end to corruption. It would help us.